it's teacher Ulrich here. How are you today? That's good to hear. Thanks for joining me so that we can continue with lesson 12. In today's lesson, which is day 2, we'll be taking on activity 12a. So make sure that you have that activity ready to go. Great, let's begin. We will start by remembering the words and their meanings. When we get to the word, I want you to say it out loud. What's this word? Convalesce. To convalesce is to get back health and strength after an illness. After the operation on my knee, I will convalesce at home, get better. This word is dedicate. Great. To dedicate is to set aside for a certain purpose. My parents dedicate part of their income to saving for my college education. A certain area can be dedicated for a certain activity. This area is dedicated for reading. To dedicate is also to devote to a serious purpose, so you can dedicate your time and energy to do something. Madame Curie dedicated her life to science. To dedicate is also to name, address, or set aside as an honor. So you can dedicate your win or your achievement to someone who helped you. Lots of the times, if you watch a fight, like a boxing fight or MMA fight, afterwards the winner will dedicate their victory to their trainer or to God or someone who helped them. I dedicate this victory to my dad, he really helped me. The authors dedicated the book to their 2 children. Next, it is dictate. To dictate is to tell or to give orders, to command. You can dictate what happens. The law dictates that children attend school until they're 16. See, he dictates them. He tells them what to do. He is their boss. Okay, you build that part. You bring bricks. You clean here. He dictates. Dictate is also to say aloud while another writes down the words. You dictate a letter. I dictated a letter to my little brother, and he wrote down every word I said. So you tell someone what to write. You dictate. Dictator is the name of a person who has complete control over a country. This is not a good thing. A person who is obeyed without question. Now, dictator is not good, friends. Like this, here, we can see a picture with 2 very famous dictators. They are both dead. Whew, luckily. This one is Benito Mussolini. He was an Italian dictator. This is Adolf Hitler, a German dictator. Hitler ruled Germany as a dictator from 1933 to 1945. Not good to have a dictator. Some countries today still have dictators, like North Korea. Kim Jong-il is a dictator. In the country Belarus, that is a European country, Belarus, they also have a dictator. Those are 2 countries that I can think of. Can you think of more? The next word is exasperate. To exasperate someone is to make them angry. To annoy them is to exasperate them. To annoy is a synonym for exasperate. My brother exasperates my parents because he uses his phone so much. Exasperating has an adjective meaning. We use this word to describe someone or something that's very annoying. Waiting in long lines to enter the stadium before the game can be quite exasperating. When I want to do something on my phone and it doesn't work, it's so exasperating. The next word is notable. We use this word to describe something or someone which deserves attention. Outstanding is a synonym for notable. Michelle Obama was one of the most notable first ladies to ever occupy the White House. She wrote this book, Becoming Michelle Obama. I haven't read it. Sure, I'm not going to read it, but apparently it's very notable. It was #1 New York bestseller. New York Times bestseller. Wow. The next word is overdue. We use overdue to describe something which comes later than expected or needed. Overdue. The bus from Boston is overdue. It's later than what was expected. The second adjective meaning for overdue, we use this word to describe something which is unpaid when owed. So a library book can be overdue. See, this book was 229 years overdue, unpaid. So you can have bills that are overdue. Your cell phone bill, your car bill, your house bill could be overdue. My aunt never allows her bills to become overdue. Your bills, your things you have to pay, your electricity for your house, your cell phone bill, things you buy on debt. Your rent, that's your bill. Next, it is overthrow. To overthrow is to end the rule of, to defeat, often by using force. So you can overthrow a government. If we overthrow the king, who will take his place? In the 18th century, French revolutionaries overthrew, French rebels overthrew the French monarchy. That is, overthrew, the past tense, see? So now you overthrow. In the 18th century, they overthrew the French monarchy. The Polish people finally overthrew the communist government that had been in power for more than 40 years. Overthrow is also a noun. It's the name of the action of overthrowing. Countries sometimes attempt an overthrow of their ruler. Sometimes they attempt an overthrow. The next word is penetrate. To penetrate is to pierce. Luckily, the piece of glass Irma stepped on did not penetrate her foot, so it did not pierce her foot or her skin. To penetrate is also to pass into or through. Very little light penetrated the dense forest, so light could not go through, it could not penetrate. The walls are very thick, so sound cannot easily penetrate. The next word is portrait. Now, portrait is the name of a drawing, a painting, or a photograph of a person, especially the face. That's a portrait. The famous portrait known as the Mona Lisa is in the Louvre in Paris. Louvre. I'm not sure how to say this word. It's a French word. Louvre, maybe. So the Mona Lisa, this is a portrait. See, it's her face. It's a painting of a girl's face. Woman's face. The next word is rebel. You got it. A rebel is the name of a person who refuses to obey orders or the law. A rebel. If the rebels continue to gain popular support, they will be a serious threat to the government. To rebel, now this word has different pronunciation. To do this is to rebel. If you are a rebel and you want to do what rebels do, you rebel. To rebel is to refuse to accept control by others. I refuse to do what you want. I refuse to listen to what you say. I rebel against you. The small children rebelled when their parents told them to go to bed. Rebellious. Rebellious is an adjective. We use this word to describe things or people who fight against another's control. They are rebellious. Disobedient is a synonym for rebellious. Grounding is a punishment parents often use for rebellious children. Grounding. If you are grounded, you have to stay in your room. No TV, no cell phone. You are grounded. Rebellion is another form of the word. Rebellion is the name of the open position one takes to another's control. Rebellion. The open opposition to another's control. The rebellion. The idea of year-round school made some students think of rebellion. So they thought of standing against that idea. That is the rebellion. The next word is restrict. To restrict is to keep within certain limits. Like in some countries, the government restricts their internet use, so they cannot use Google, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, those kind of things. If you do not know what I'm saying, then you're being restricted. We restrict this pathway to people riding bicycles. So this pathway is only for people riding bicycles. So that is, they restricted it. Restriction is the name of a limit. So what is the speed restriction? What is the speed limit? Our school has some restrictions about what students may wear. So students may wear clothes, but they may not wear Q-Tex or nail paint. So there is a restriction against nail paint. So no nail paint. There is a restriction against it. The next word is seldom. Seldom has an adverb meaning. So adverb describes a verb. It tells you how something is done. So if something happens or is being done seldomly, it means not often. Rarely. Rarely is a synonym for seldom. Remember that. Rarely. Often is an antonym for seldom. Because the sun's rays are so strong, we seldom spend the whole day at the beach. So not a lot. Seldom. What do you do seldomly? Because it's not very healthy, I seldom eat ice cream. The next word is stimulate. To stimulate is to make more active. The aroma of black bean soup from the kitchen stimulated my appetite for lunch. It made you more hungry. Stimulate. Books stimulate your brain much better than TV does. The next word is tempest. Tempest. Tempest is the name of a violent windstorm, usually with snow, rain or hail. A tempest. A tempest at sea is a sailor's greatest fear. Tempestuous. Tempestuous is a word with an adjective meaning. We use this word to describe something which is stormy and wild, tempestuous. After a tempestuous argument, the two friends agreed to disagree and ended the discussion. No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. That's a wild, stormy, tempestuous argument. My parents had a tempestuous fight last night. Not really, but you can say that. Next, it's upbringing. Upbringing is the name of the care and training a child gets while growing up. Did you have a good upbringing? I'm sure you do have a good upbringing. I had a great upbringing. My parents loved me, they cared for me. Wonderful upbringing. My parents work very hard to give my brothers and me a wonderful upbringing. Like these children, they have a wonderful upbringing. Their parents love them, they take care of them, they teach them how to ride a bike. It's a great upbringing. And here we are. Activity 12A. Finally, we can start with this. So make sure you have this activity ready. Grab a pen. Let's start. First, let us read the instruction. Using words in context. Read the following sentences. If the word in bold is used correctly, so these are the words in bold, write C on the line. So if it's correct, write C. If the word is used incorrectly, write I on the line. You got it? Great. Number 1A. The teacher dictated that no one could work together on the test. Can the teacher dictate something? Say how it's going to be? Correct. B. One person should not dictate what happens to the whole group. Correct. One person should not have full control over what happens. C. She dictated her speech to her secretary. She dictated her speech. So she told her secretary what to write. She dictated her speech. Correct. Okay, now write, hello everyone and welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Dictate what someone should write. D. The park is dictated to everyone who enjoys it. Incorrect. That should be dedicated, not dictated. Number 2A. A rebellion of yellow flowers covered the hillside. Rebellion. Incorrect. Just incorrect. B. My older sister has always been the rebel in our family. Correct. Your older sister can be the rebel. She does not do what she is told. C. It would cost rebellions of dollars to fix the broken windows. Incorrect. Rebellions of dollars. Maybe it will cost millions of dollars, but not rebellions. D. Reading the long list of rules made us feel rebellious. Reading the long list of rules made us feel rebellious, like you want to go against the rules? Correct. Number 3A. The tempest at sea made boats race toward the harbor. Correct. A storm at sea, the tempest. B. The feud became more tempestuous when neither person would apologize. The feud. A feud is if I don't like you and you don't like me, we have a feud. So the feud, can it become tempestuous? It can, if it's a fight. C. I closed the door softly because of the tempest sleeping in the bed. Incorrect. D. The tempest moment came just before the end of the race. Incorrect. That makes no sense. Number 4A. Active community members dedicate their lives to improving their neighborhoods. Dedicate their lives. Can you dedicate your life to do something? Yes, you can. Correct. B. The author, so author is a writer of a book. The author dedicated his first novel to her family. Yes, in honor of her family, she can dedicate it. C. $10 was dedicated from my purse. $10 was dedicated from my purse. No, incorrect. That does not make sense. D. The only dedication I took was a cough drop. Cough drop. Incorrect. So this should be the only medication, not dedication. The only medication I took was a cough drop. Yes. Dedication? No. Number 5A. I restricted my remarks to safe topics like the weather. So your remarks are things you say. You can restrict what you say. Correct. B. The trails are restricted to foot travel, which means no vehicles are allowed. So it's restricted to foot travel. So you can only walk on the trails. Can something be restricted to only walking? Yes, correct. No cars, no bikes, no bicycles, no horses, just people walking, pedestrians. C. The restrictions tasted like lemon and mint. Don't think you can taste restrictions, can you? Can't. D. I restrict myself to 1 hour TV a day. That is correct, but also not incorrect. Maybe I watch more TV, I don't know. But it is used correctly. I restrict myself to 1 hour TV a day. Number 6. A. George seldom thinks of the house he grew up in. He seldom thinks of it. He does not think of it often. Is that correct? Yes. B. Dad's favorite seldom is making sure we get to school safely. Incorrect. It's just used incorrectly. C. Anya had a short seldom published in the new school paper. Incorrect. D. Since Kaisha moved to Seattle, I seldom hear from her. Correct. You don't hear from her often. I seldom hear from her. Not a lot. Number 7A. The portrait was done with watercolors and ink. Correct. A portrait, a picture, can be done with watercolors and ink. B. George Washington grew up in a portrait on a farm. Incorrect. You cannot grow up in a portrait. Let me just show you something real quick. See? George with a G. George with a J. Both are correct. This George with a J, That is American spelling. If someone says my name is George with a J, he is probably an American. George with a G, George, that is British. So if he says his name is George with a G, he's probably from England or from the UK, South Africa or Australia. Just for interest's sake. 7C. You have to show your portrait before boarding the school bus. Incorrect. I don't think you have to show your portrait like that. You can't walk around with a picture of yourself that you drew, painted, or took, right? D. The two portraits show Frederick Douglass with and without a beard. Correct. It could be pictures of his face, because how else would you see his beard and his clean skin? Number 8. A. The soldiers won a notable victory at Gettysburg. Notable. Something to remark. Yes, correct. B. We took a few notables with us in case we got hungry. Incorrect. We took a few edibles with us, something you can eat, or Lunchables, something you can eat for lunch. C. I made a notable in my diary that today was the first day of spring. Incorrect. Maybe I made a note, but not notable. D. The score wasn't notable until the last seconds of the game. The score was not notable until the last seconds of the game. Correct. So the score, there was no difference in it until the last seconds of the game. Then there was a difference. 9A. A person's upbringing should include the freedom to explore. Your upbringing, you should be able to explore. Yes, correct. B. The upbringing of my birthday isn't necessary. Incorrect. The upbringing. You cannot bring something up and call it the upbringing. It doesn't work like that. C. Maya's positive upbringing explains how kind she is to everyone. A positive upbringing. Can you have a positive upbringing? Yes, you can, if you have great parents. D. We assembled the upbringing and set it in the corner. Can you assemble an upbringing? Put it together? You cannot. Incorrect. Next, number 10A. You pay a fine for library books that are overdue. Correct. B. The plane is overdue because of strong winds. Can a plane be late, overdue, arrive later than expected? Yes. C. I've learned to overdue the names of my friends. Incorrect. D. I was able to overdue the others and won the race comfortably. Incorrect. Not used correctly. Great. And that's it. We're all done with activity 12A. Good job. Make sure you got all the right answers. And that's it. We're done for today. Friends, well done with today's activity. If you struggled with it, read and practice your words and their meanings carefully. Just keep practicing. That's it. Remember to join me next in day 3. For the next lesson, you can bring activities 12B 12C and 12D. Bring those activities for our next lesson. That's it, friends. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now. Bye.